So now today we are going to discuss about the microbiology of butter. We have already discussed about the definition of butter, what are the different types generally prepared in our country or worldwide. Or in addition to that, we have also seen a number of different type of uh, models of churn, and we have already studied about the flow diagram, what are the different methods of manufacturing of butter. So today we are going to discuss about the microbiology of butter. So as all of you know that milk, cream and butter, they constitute an important item of our food. Uh, these products are very suitable for microbial growth, and the microbial growth is totally dependent upon the initial quality of milk, then type of spoilages, then method of preservation and method of preparation. So these are the things which directly affect the quality of milk, cream as well as of butter. So as all of you know that milk is considered as the complete food, and it contains proteins, fat, carbohydrate, minerals, vitamins and water. And you know it's a very good medium for the growth of different kind of microorganisms. So it is very important to know the different types of microorganisms generally present in your milk or in your cream or in your butter, how you can control these microorganisms, what are the different type of microorganisms which are beneficial or which are responsible for creating different kind of spoilages, or sometimes it may be responsible for transferring some kind of diseases to human being. So it is very important to know the complete microbiological significance of different microbes generally found in our butter. So milk, which we are using for production of cream and then for butter, when it is secreted from the udder of healthy animal, there are very few number of different kind of microbes, and the microbial contaminants gain entry into the system uh, during its production, during transportation, collection, and it is either by the hands of milkers or by from dairy utensils. So these simply add some number of contaminating microorganisms to your product, and you have already studied about all these things, that what are different kind of microbes generally found in our raw milk and what kind of microbe uh, entered into the system from soil or water. Now the micro environment of butter. As all of you know that butter is unfavorable for the growth of different kind of contaminating microorganisms. If you compare it with milk, because of the different type of compositional and structural differences. So what kind of condition is there in butter? It is very important to know. The nature of distribution of water and fat in cream and butter makes it microenvironment different. In cream, water is in continuous phase and fat is in discontinuous phase. You people have already idea about this. What are the phase reversal process when you are manufacturing butter from cream? So automatically the environment created by the action of churning is not favorable for the growth and activity of different kind of contaminating microorganisms. A large number of water droplets are more than the number of microorganisms in water. Moreover, unlike that, the cream microorganisms cannot proliferate easily and spread in butter because of the following reason. What are those regions? Which condition is not favorable for the growth and activity of different kind of microorganisms? So here the first point is water phase is separated by relatively resistant fat phase in butter. Molds and pseudomycelia forming yeast are able to grow and penetrate through the fat phase of butter. So in general, the microenvironment of butter is not suitable for general kind of microorganisms. A specific type of microorganism can enter into the system can gain entry into the system and create so many abnormal condition or spoilage problem in our final product. So limited supply of nutrients in the water droplets in butter, while in cream microorganisms can grow in continuous water phase, having dissolved nutrients and migrate one portion to other. So if working is proper, automatically the environment for the growth and activity of microorganisms will be restricted in butter. Now what kind of microorganisms or microflora generally found in butter? In spite of unfavorable condition in butter for microbiological growth, since we are using cream for butter manufacturing process and it is already sterilized, so a particular type of microbe you will get in your butter. So what kind of bacteria generally found? Psychrophilic, psychrotrophs, that is proteolytic and lipolytic in nature. Then mesophiles, they are lactic and non-lactic acid bacteria and spore forming bacteria. In case of yeast and mold, they may enter through aerial route. So whatever air present in the factory environment, that will also add some number of microorganisms. Now, these are a need of adopting the following measures to maintain the quality standard of butter. So if you want to maintain a good quality or produce a good quality of butter, automatically you have to procure or produce good quality of cream by using good quality of milk. So hygienic production of milk and cream is very important. Now the properly quality control of cream before butter making. So whatever cream you are using for production or manufacturing of butter, that should be properly treated before butter manufacturing. Now the avoiding accumulation and high temperature. Whatever cream you are collecting or using for making butter, you should not keep that cream at ambient condition. You should keep it at lower temperature just to restrict the growth of different kind of contaminating microorganisms. Now, in addition to bacteria present in milk, other source of bacteria is also there in butter, and that will enter into the system through equipment, wash water, air contamination, packaging material. So whatever equipment you are using for butter manufacturing processes or collection of cream or transportation or storage purposes, that should be properly cleaned. Otherwise, it will add some number of different kind of contaminating microorganisms. And ultimately, it will create so many types of spoilage problem. Now, the following tests must be carried out for quality control of milk for butter making. Organoleptic test, acidity, sediment test, MBR test, total bacterial count, yeast and mold count. So these are the tests you should perform before accepting a cream which will be used for the production of butter. Now the pre-treatment of cream. So many things have studied about the pre-treatment. So quick cooling of cream to a low temperature results in a rapid formation of many small fat crystals. However, the ratio of liquid to solid fat would be low and would result in a hard butter. In case of heating such cooled cream to a high temperature makes the higher melting point triglyceride present in that cream, and they are responsible for forming crystals. So recrystallization of melted fat at lower temperature results in a higher liquid solid ratio, yielding a softer butter. So what type of treatment and at what temperature you are keeping your cream after collection or after procurement, that will decide that whether the cream will be of soft nature or hard nature. Now, what type of microorganisms generally found in fresh cream? Pseudomonas, alkali genes, Acinetobacter, Aromonas, Achromobacter. When you are keeping your cream at 5 degrees centigrade, you will get this type of microbe present in cream. And when you are keeping your cream at 30 degrees centigrade, in that case, you will get Corynebacterium, Bacillus, Micrococcus, Lactobacillus, and Streptococcus microorganisms. So automatically you have to keep lower temperature if you want to restrict the growth and activity of different kind of contaminating microorganisms. Now, sometimes what is happening for getting a typical type of flavor, people are using different kind of microorganisms for development of certain type of characteristic flavor in your product. So automatically, in some cases, people are using desirable microbes. So automatically, with these microorganisms, some number of contaminating microorganisms will also gain entry into the system. So automatically, we have to check the purity of starter bacteria, which you are going to use for ripening purposes of cream. In general, the acid production by butter culture during ripening processes suppresses the growth of spoilage organisms. Those are proteolytic or lipolytic pseudomonads. So automatically, the condition created during the growth of these starter bacteria, they will side by side inhibit the growth of different kind of spoilage causing microorganisms. So some acid producers are generally used like Lactococcus lactis, subspecies lactis, and Lactococcus lactis, subspecies cremoris. In addition to, people are also using some aroma producers like Liconostoc, mesenteroid, subspecies cremoris, and Lactococcus lactis by variety diacetyl lactis. So in case of whipped or whipping cream, what is happening in this type of cream? We are introducing some amount of air into the cream during whipping process. So definitely the microbe, if your air environment is not good, and if you have not filtered it thoroughly, it will add some number of microorganisms and ultimately create some kind of problem in your final butter. Now the next one is neutralization of butter. It is very important to neutralize these butter before churning processes. So it will also affect the microbiological quality in the following manner. The contaminated neutralization solution as a result of poor quality water used for dissolving neutralizer. So automatically, if you the water you are using, if it is not proper, especially if it is some kind of microorganism is there, automatically it will add some number of spoilage producing microorganisms in the system, and ultimately it will affect the final product. So all these things are very important. Sometimes we are using lime neutralizer, low magnesium limes, medium magnesium limes, high magnesium limes, and then soda neutralizer, then bicarbonate of soda or baking soda are used for neutralization process of cream, which are used for the butter manufacturing system. The now standardization of cream. So after that, first of all, you have to standardize your cream for getting desired level of fat and moisture in your final product, that is your butter. So automatically adjustment of fat to desired level is required. Just by using Pearson square law, you can standardize your lot. Then you have to add some kind of, or you can say the calculated quantity of skim milk or buttermilk to get a desired level of fat and SNF content in cream. Then a standardization of both higher and lower level leads to higher fat losses in buttermilk. So during manufacturing of cream, we should keep our mind that it should not deviate from the range that is 33 to 40% level. Otherwise, you will have to standardize it, and automatically you have to add some amount of these items.